This video illustrates the concept of gang stalking. Gang stalking is also known as vigilante stalking or cause stalking, and it involves using several different individuals and vehicles to give a person the message that they are being stalked, yet not give them the ability to identify a single perpetrator. I've just bought a video camera, and this is the first time that I've taken it out. Instead of driving away as I normally would, I sit and play with the zoom on the camera. I hadn't realized the cyclist was sitting at the corner. I actually discovered him after I zoomed in on him. So I decided to sit and keep filming. This is something the stalkers didn't expect me to do. Notice the hand movements here. The guy lifts up his hands, points at the car that's approaching. His hands go back down again, and then he leans towards the car. Also, notice that the white car is missing a hubcap. This is important because the car will be coming back. You may have noticed that I've altered the video slightly. I've inserted still images to illustrate certain points a little more easily. As the ladies approach the corner, there's no indication that they know the guy until they get close to him. Watch as the blonde woman walks toward him, and obviously he says something to her, and she turns around and looks in my direction. The other woman seems to stop herself from turning around completely. The blonde woman points at me. Watch now as the guy on the bike signals someone else. He looks at his wrist as though looking at the time, then turns his palms upward as if to say, "I don't know what's going on." This is just before a cyclist and a car come by. Certain behaviors are repeated in order to let the victim know that something is happening. In my case, cars, cyclists, and pedestrians are used when I leave the house, and also when I'm coming back to the house. The blonde lady appears to say something to the guy, and he continues watching me after she leaves. A man named David Lawson managed to infiltrate one of these groups, and he wrote a report on it called Terrorist Stalking in America. At this point, he scoots down a little so that he's more concealed by the trees. According to Lawson, cause stalking has been used by extremist groups since the early 1990s. This gives the viewer a reminder of how far away the cyclist actually is. There is absolutely no way that he can see that I have a video camera. In fact, if he knew I had a video camera, he wouldn't be sitting there. The only thing he can see is that I'm not driving away. Here comes the white car again, back in the opposite direction. There's no exit in that direction. In order to leave the neighborhood, he has to come back the other way again. According to David Lawson, the people who are involved in gang stalking are often not employed, which gives them the ability to follow a person at any time of day. In addition, he makes it quite clear that these groups are cults. And now a third cyclist is about to approach. And as soon as he comes around the corner, he looks at me, and keeps watching me the entire time. After he gets on his bike, he actually rides up the wrong side of the street. It looks like he's trying to figure out what I'm doing. At the end of this video, you'll see a picture of what I looked like to them. Lawson says that when stalking groups move into a neighborhood, there is an increase in the number of break-ins, noise, and it will become a high-traffic area. And now a fourth cyclist is about to approach. And here comes the same white car a third time. The basic system is alleged to have been developed by the Ku Klux Klan and refined through years of use. The primary characteristic of cause stalking is that it is done by large groups of people. A target will always be followed, but he is unlikely to see the same stalkers very often. The cyclist has now left. I've blurred the video here on purpose to protect the child's identity, and I lowered the camera when a second child came by. 2 more cars are about to approach. That's 7 cars, 4 cyclists, and 3 pedestrians, not including the kids, on a Tuesday afternoon, within a 5-minute period. This is a picture of my car taken from where the cyclist was sitting. It's very obvious from this perspective that there's no way he could have seen that I was filming. So this begs the question, what were all those people looking at? What was so interesting to them?